The Evergreen Media Network Studio, powered by Scott Tree Services.
No one told me that.
No one told me that.
No one told me that. In pregnancy highs and lows,
We are tackling the I didn't knows
it's the No One Told Me podcast
with Janay
and Tay. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of No One Told Me with Janay and Tay. And before we get started, you will notice that there's just Tay here today. No Janay, and she is welcoming her and her husband DJ welcomed their beautiful daughter Ava into the world on July 16th at 12:49 p.m. And she is doing well. Baby's doing well. We have a picture that we're going to throw up so you can see how adorable and beautiful she is. So we're just so ecstatic for her and DJ. But in her place, Bridget Jerger, our Grow Doula director, has graciously stepped in to partner with me today as we go over our community breastfeeding support. And we will have a special guest, Linda Roberts, an IBCLC. Linda Roberts, IBCLC, is a registered and internationally board certified lactation consultant who has been working in the birth and lactation world as a midwife assistant, doula, and childbirth educator for over 30 years. She has worked in several states assisting with program development, as well as working in hospitals, clinics, homes, and refugee camps. She is currently the breastfeeding and peer counselor coordinator for the Indian River County Health Department WIC office, as well as a home visiting IBCLC and breastfeeding educator for Healthy Start Coalition. And she also maintains her private practice. So, Linda, thank you so much for being here. Bridget, thank you so much for being a part of as a step-in host for Janay today. We're so excited to have you on the podcast.
Thank you. Well, thank you for having me,
Yeah.
Tay.
Yeah.
Linda, we're excited for you to join us today. Can you tell us a little bit about what are some benefits for breastfeeding?
Yes. Well, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk breastfeeding.
Thanks for coming.
And I should say for mom and baby.
Yeah.
I want to
Very, very
specify that.
Yeah. Gosh, where do you start? Breastfeeding is literally, if we look at it from a science perspective, it is the foundation of health. I talk with my hands, but it is the foundation of health. It is literally building a little tiny human. It is finishing building a human. I always like to tell moms that, you do this superhuman job of not only growing human beings, but you grow this entire organ to keep their immune system healthy, to keep them fed whenever they want. And when the baby's born, the placenta goes right with that baby. Mm-hmm. And your body says, that's okay, we got stage 2. And breast milk is literally stage 2 to finish the growth of the baby's brain, to finish the growth of their gut. We call it medicine. It's not just food.
I love that stage too. That's a really cool, it paints a cool picture for a mom.
Yeah, and in the birth world, you can't pull the two apart. You can't pull birth away from, as you know.
Correct.
Bridget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So some of the benefits for baby, when we look at the science, we see that the building of the gut is their immune system for the rest of their life. And we know that babies who are breastfed have a decreased incidence of cancer. Huge. We don't have anything to cure cancer for infants. Diabetes, asthma, allergies, SIDS, 70% decrease of SIDS by breastfeeding. So it's big. And then we look at the mom, and we never talk about the mom as much. Mm-hmm. And when we look at the mom, we see the science, how it actually, a mom breastfeeding for 2 months literally decreases her risk of getting diabetes 2 by 80%.
Wow.
That's medicine.
Huge.
That's medicine. Yeah.
Wow.
Cardiovascular issues decreased, high blood pressure decreased, cancer for the mom and for the baby. Wow. So this is medicine. This is big, important stuff.
Natural medicine too. We love that.
Absolutely.
So I know you work alongside Healthy Start Us, as well as Indian River County Health Department and WIC. So can you talk about those two partnerships and how moms are reaching out and you're getting connected with them in the community?
Yeah, I think both Healthy Start and WIC are phenomenal safety nets for our community. At WIC, I work with, WIC is essentially women, infant, and children, and it's a program, it's a nutrition program for children ages, well, actually for pregnant moms through children age 5. So there's nutritional counseling, there's good, healthy foods to build little tiny human beings. And we also have a robust peer counselor program. So we hire moms that were WIC moms, and we train them and we pay them, and they are passionate about helping the other moms. We call them breast friends.
I love that so much.
They conduct classes for moms, prenatal classes. They have support groups for pregnant moms and moms that are breastfeeding. We have a support group in Fellsmere, and we have another one in Wabasso. And through the clinic, moms and babies and families have access to me as a board-certified lactation consultant. So we do assessments on babies. We have pumps, should moms need pumps. So it is truly an all-round program. And Healthy Start fits in, I think, beautifully. What I do with them is also, I work with the team at Cleveland Clinic, and there's a fabulous program, a nurse visiting program, which I tell every mom to take advantage of.
Yes, it's so important.
Because birth is so short nowadays. Moms are home in 24 hours.
Yes. Yeah.
And having a nurse come to your house to see how you're doing, how the baby's doing is key. And should there be other issues or mom just wants extra breastfeeding support, I will do home visits for moms. So that is the kind of support that we really need. I also conduct classes, prenatal or breastfeeding classes at Healthy Start.
Love that.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I know firsthand from being a lactation counselor myself that moms don't realize how much work breastfeeding is. And it's ironic that we have this podcast going on today because I was on like Facebook or something, and there was this post that was, what does people not tell us the ease of breast? Like, what do they not tell you about breastfeeding? So can you elaborate a little bit more of some of the top issues that occur with moms that you have to address, or that our team has to address with our breastfeeding moms?
Well, first of all, I say building human beings is hard work.
Yes.
Being pregnant is hard work. Bringing these little humans into the world is hard work.
Absolutely.
Breastfeeding can be hard work. Feeding a baby. Formula feeding can be hard work. So it is hard work. And to me, one of the saddest things is when moms think, okay, I'm having this baby, and I'm just going to be by myself, but I got this, and it's a team sport. I mean, it truly is a team sport. And I think probably one of the things that I see most, or if I could push a magic button, is I would love moms to get the education when they're pregnant. True evidence-based education. I have seen a few things also on some social media, and there's a lot of misinformation.
I agree with you on that.
A lot of misinformation. So it's hard work. It is most of the things we can usually fix. I mean, I've been working with, thousands of babies, and I think I can count on literally two hands. Literal things or two fingers that we can't fix. So I think the prenatal education is key, and understanding that this is a reflexive behavior. This isn't something baby learns, it's built into them. There's a learning curve for us, for sure.
Right.
And taking your time to move through that and having support, I think, is absolutely key.
I think I love the part where you said, it's a learning curve. I feel like moms don't realize that they're learning, baby's learning, so it's hand in hand. So, babies know what to do, but they don't necessarily know exactly how to do it. And sometimes we just have to help nurture them and guide them to get that sweet spot to make it a good experience for both them and mom.
It's so true.
Exactly.
And it is, breastfeeding honestly does not break.
Right.
A lot of moms, it's very, it usually can be fixed, and we can often apply tincture of time, which is what I'll often tell moms is that. And depending on the birth, yes, those reflexes, those babies can come out a little disorganized, and we need a little more tincture of time. We need a little more time allowing them to tap into those instincts and breastfeeding instincts. Absolutely. And we learn together.
Sure.
For sure.
Well, I am not a mother yet, but I plan to be a mother in the future. I know just from stories I hear, but also from personal experiences, that some moms think breastfeeding is successful. but then come to realize maybe a couple days later, a couple weeks later, baby's not getting what they need. They're going to doctor visits, they're not gaining weight, and they feel that breastfeeding is the result of that, or there's some error that they're doing personally. What are some of those signs and symptoms that moms may experience?
It is tough, and it's tough if you are in isolation.
Yeah.
So again, I say the support of the doula program. I mean, having someone there that can kind of translate for you what's going on with the mom.
I've already got Bridget locked down for my birth, so
you got a good one. You got a good one.
I don't know when that will be, but whenever it is, she's on the calendar.
She's on the calendar. We always are going to be talking about poops and pees, and that is a fun topic, but it is a truly important one. And I think if moms, leaving the hospital, I always suggest make sure you understand what swallowing looks like. It is subtle. It is very different than what we would expect. And we want to be watching the output to see how that transfer is going. And we want moms reaching out. If oftentimes babies are going to lose weight. We know that.
Right.
We know because of birth practices, even sometimes babies are going to blow up a little bit more from IVs, and we might weigh them a little too soon, and whoosh, they go down. So pediatricians have their eye on the case, and we know that most babies are going to move, they're going to lose weight, and they're going to be climbing back up to that birth weight again by about 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. So if there's concerns in that middle part, that's when you reach out.
Okay.
That's when you reach out to have someone there, just guiding you through, and maybe just allowing you to see what you can do differently.
Right. 100%. Yeah, that's great.
I know many moms aren't aware of all of the lactation support that our community offers, and we have an abundance of that. And it can be discouraging for some of them during that postpartum period when they are, we always tell moms the toughest time is when they go home. They don't have that initial support. So, and our moms often give up. So can you speak more about how they can access the resources in our community that are available to them?
Yes, well, and there are many ways, and you're right, there are a lot. We have a lot of lactation support. Again, I'm going to say that breast milk and breastfeeding is resilient. So I work with a lot of the moms in the WIC that maybe felt that things weren't going well, and so they gave up. We can get it going again.
Right.
It doesn't end. Your body is so determined to make this work.
Absolutely.
A year later, we can get it going. I've worked with moms that didn't breastfeed at all, didn't want to breastfeed. 3 months later, we got hit by hurricanes. There was no formula. We got that baby latched on, and her body did exactly what it needed to do. So moms that are giving birth in our hospital and Cleveland Clinic are all going to go home with a resource sheet of who to call. Please reach out. At WIC, we have a warm line that's dedicated to breastfeeding moms. So breastfeeding isn't one of those, 8 to 5.
No, it's not.
It is the nights where we need the help. It is the weekends where we need the help. And so reaching out to WIC, the hospital is open all the time. So you can always reach out to labor and delivery, to the hospital, and they will get lactation. Reach out to your doula. Have a doula. Have a support group before you give birth that has good evidence-based information that can support you.
And we have all those lactation numbers and support contacts on our Healthy Start website. So if you visit www.irchealthystart.org and you go to About Our Ways of Support and go down on the tab, you'll see breastfeeding support. And then there's all those contacts on that page. So if you're pregnant and you haven't gotten connected with us, get connected with us and make sure you have this in your back pocket as a tool if needed. So I have 2 questions that came to mind as we were talking, and I'm sorry they aren't on our question list, but I'm just going to pop them out there. I know you're an expert, so I know you can answer this. Nutrition comes up a lot, especially for moms that are breastfeeding. What are some really good, nourishing, recommended foods to eat while you're breastfeeding to help with milk production?
Well, your body is going to be helping with the milk production. And it does this amazing job growing the superfood according to what your baby needs. And your milk is different if it's a boy or a girl.
Yeah.
And your body's reading, what does this immune system need? What does this brain need? Aside from that, you are healing from a pregnancy. You are healing from a birth. I always tell moms protein is your best friend. There was a study actually in Sweden, there were several studies. They prescribe oatmeal medically to moms. There is an enzyme. There's something in oatmeal. Oatmeal is a win-win. It's good for us. If you like it, you go ahead and eat it. Yeah. But there is nothing that you have to eat differently. There's a lot of misinformation out there of what you shouldn't eat.
Okay.
Spicy foods, beans, chocolate, coffee. There's literally a breast-brain barrier.
Yeah.
Certain things are just not going to get through to your breast milk. And that includes about 90% of prescribed medications that are compatible with breastfeeding.
Yes. Wow. Okay.
So we say eat to stay healthy, for sure.
Exactly.
Eat because you're healing from a pregnancy, from a birth, and you're taking care of a baby. And that's where that support system, that's where dads, partners, family members can bring you some food.
Right. We hope they're bringing the food.
but what you eat truly, I have worked at refugee camps. These were families that had left war. They had a few grains of maybe couscous to eat. They were making milk that was keeping their babies and even their older children alive.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, I know that's a question that comes up a lot. And I know there's, lots of misinformation. So I just wanted to address that. The other question that I feel like is commonly asked is, what if I deliver, baby goes to the NICU for, a certain amount of hours, and you don't get that instant skin to skin, that crawl from the baby and that instant latch, or having that baby identify the breast. Do you feel, just working from clients in the past, is there a big barrier that you feel like you have to close when the mom and the baby are separated? Or is it just more instinctual that they just know?
I say that we can certainly support the mom, and I let moms know that if you're separated from your baby for 3 days a week, 3 hours, it does not mean that's the end of breastfeeding.
Sure.
We used to say that skin to skin, that magic hour. Well, now we say the more skin to skin a baby gets, the better.
Yeah.
So when a mom's been separated, what I suggest is let's have a skin to skin marathon. Let's kind of reboot that baby. Let's let them smell us, touch us, feel us, so they can tap into those feeding reflexes and instincts. And let's let that mom take a big old whiff of that baby's head, because man, there are chemicals that are coursing through our body to really attract, to the baby. So it's never too late to get a baby on. And I've even worked with families that are adopting a baby and they want to breastfeed, and we can put them through a protocol. And these mothers maybe never gave birth before, and we can have them making milk. So again, it's back to that resiliency that it truly is. Your body is just brilliant.
Yeah,
and your breast milk is a superfood.
Our bodies are amazing.
They are.
Yes.
Well, before we run out of time, I do want to get the chance to talk about the event that's coming up in August, and that is called the Big Latch. Can you just share with us some details surrounding that?
Yeah. So August is, the first week in August is World Breastfeeding Week. The whole month of August is National Breastfeeding Month. So we celebrate it, and we celebrate it big. So August 3rd, we are having a celebration. It's in collaboration with Healthy Start, with the Learning Alliance, and with us. And we are having what we call the Latch On. The Latch On is a global latch on. At this same time, in countries and in states and in cities around the world, moms are latching their babies on. And we have a count. We're also having a lullaby project. So there's going to be live music. We're having a brunch. There's going to be food. There's going to be mommy and me yoga. It's a celebration, and it's inclusive. It is not just for breastfeeding moms. I know that breastfeeding has very complex and varied journey for different moms. And if you've breastfed before, if you want to breastfeed, if you're pregnant, if you are a mother feeding a baby or a father feeding a baby, come join us. We'd love to celebrate with you and for you.
And with it being a free family event,
Free.
And how do they RSVP? Do they?
What we're saying is there is on Facebook, we have and it's on the Healthy Start also.
Yep.
We're just saying, come and join us.
Okay.
Come and join
Great.
us. We are open to you. It's in Wabasso at the Wabasso Health Department, which is where the
Daisy Hope.
Daisy Hope
Yeah.
was.
Correct.
We're going to
Yes.
have the reading bus. You know that really cool moonshot
Oh,
bus?
yes.
That's going to be right out front, kind of telling you where it is.
Fun.
And there's
That's a cool
story
bus.
time for kids. There's goodie bags. There's raffles. Everyone's going home with some good
Oh,
stuff.
good. That sounds like a
That'll be
fun
a
event.
great
I will be there. So, yeah.
Love it.
Just me as a Healthy Start representative. Maybe I'll be on the bus too. We'll see. Well, is there anything that you want to share with our listeners before you go?
Just to trust your body, trust your baby, trust this process, reach out.
Yes.
There are so many avenues. Please, the saddest thing to me is a mom sitting at home thinking she's broken and there's nothing that can happen that she can do.
Yeah.
And a baby, reach out. It's never too late.
Yeah.
And your journey is your journey.
And with moms, we have lots of local people listening to this podcast, but we also have a wide range of people that are not local. So what's your recommendation to moms that maybe can't utilize the resources we've been talking about in Indian River County or surrounding area to connect with support?
So every state has a coalition, a breastfeeding coalition. I was on the Florida Breastfeeding Coalition. That's usually the pinpoint of all the different breastfeeding coalitions and task force in different cities and states and counties. Hospitals often will have a list of resources. Every WIC in every county has breastfeeding support. And not only do they have the support, I love that everybody that works for WIC is trained in breastfeeding. Yeah. And a lot of training. There's testing, and it's happening every year. So from the clerks to the health techs. So WIC is always a good resource, whether you're on WIC or not, to find what the local resources are.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Linda, you've been such a pleasure to chat with today. Bridget, thank you for coming in as a host, and you're a
you for
natural
having
too.
me.
So you can come back anytime, both of you. Well, hey, before we close, I just wanted to announce, and we've announced on previous podcasts, but we do now have a Healthy Start app. And we would love for pregnant moms, even moms in postpartum. There's resources for your entire pregnancy into postpartum, and even just some first year stuff, just talking through different phases of that. So please, it's completely free. If you want to register, go to our website. You'll see there's a tab that says download our free app. So go ahead and download that, get registered. It'll take you to a registration page. It'll give you login credentials, and then you can go from there. Also, in tandem with that, any moms who've experienced a loss, a miscarriage, any sort of loss, and you need grieving support, this app also supports that. We have a separate link for you to register, but we really do want to recognize that in the community. There's so many moms that walk through that go silent and don't have support. So we really just want to give you the opportunity, reach out to us. There's a grief and support page on our website as well, where you can get the grief resources. So make sure that you take advantage of that if you feel comfortable. Thank you again, Linda. Thank you again, Bridget. We will see you next time. I don't think Janay will be back yet. She'll still be on maternity leave. So we'll have another host. Yeah. So stay tuned, and we will see you soon. Thanks again for listening to another episode of the No One Told Me podcast with Janay and Tay. See you next time.